Hello, everyone, and welcome to Evolve Yourself TV. I am Agni James, and tonight we are going to play a little chess, and we are going to have a very peaceful and deep guided meditation. So I hope you're all ready for that. How is everyone doing tonight? It is 9:33 p.m. Chicago time. And today was a good day. I got to see a friend I hadn't seen in a long time. I started teaching a new chess class, which is good. The students in there, I got the advanced group, which is always nice because they know how the pieces move, and they tend to be a little bit older, so they're not eating the pieces, which is always it's always a pleasure to not have to tell the kid to spit out the piece, right? No choking hazards in my chess classes, right? I went out to dinner with my dad, so that was nice as well. So, Ignorant, hey, good to see you, friend. What's new with you these days, man? How's everything going with you, buddy? We haven't talked much, man. We haven't talked much recently. I hope you're doing well. You've been there since the beginning, and you're a good human being, man. I really appreciate you. And JT appreciates you too. JT definitely appreciates you too. Oh, she's the founder. I didn't even know that. Founder, 22-month subscriber, JT Farms. How about that? Wow, it's crazy. I've been streaming almost 2 years, JT. What do you think of that, right? 2 years. That's a long time. That's a long time to be streaming. How did it go today? Were you any luck with the contacts? Were you able to get your contacts on a fast order? It went awesome. All right, well, that's nice. That's really cool, actually. I'm glad it went well. Like, did you actually get them today, or were they just more compliant than the last time you had to deal with them? Was it yesterday or something like that? Or were you saying awesome to something else? And that's how it works. And that's how it works in the chat. Like sometimes I completely misconstrue what you say because I get the context wrong. And it's my friend who I always botch your name. Dalitophalis or Dalitophalis, right? You say put a better ant on the chess pieces so that it is yucky in the mouth and will be spit out by the kiddos. This is what Nintendo does with their tiny game cartridges. Put a bitterant. So you had autocorrect got to have some fun with your words there, right? It's always interesting when autocorrect likes to hop in and they think they know what you want to say better than you know what you want to say, right? It's like, no, I don't want to put a butter ant on the chess pieces. I want to put a bitterant, right? That's actually a pretty good idea. I don't know. I wanted to actually mention something. I got to see your stream before you moved. I think it was the last day you were streaming before you moved, and you said something pretty cool, man. We were watching those mashups of the auctioneers, right? With all the livestock. I think it was like all what cows, cattle, all that stuff, right? We were watching those, and I don't know what it is, but like in Chicago, we have a tendency, even though we have like a lot of like meat, there's like a lot of like meat industry in Chicago, right? We have a tendency to kind of like think things are a joke, right? But you said at one point, like, hey, I like meat, I like to eat, right? This is actually, I think this is kind of cool what they are doing. And initially I was like kind of looking at it like a joke, right? But then after you said that, you got me thinking, and I was like, you know what, you're right, man. This is huge. Like, I love steak. I cooked T-bones last night. Without those people, I would not be able to have T-bones, right? So yeah, you made a difference there, man. You made a difference. So thank you for pointing that out during that last stream that I saw yours. JT, you say no awesome to something else. Oh, okay, all right. Well, but what? So how did it go? Were you able to get your contacts? I mean, that's got to be crazy. Like, to not be able to see, or to just be able to see out of like one eye because one of your contacts is messed up. Like, I don't know. I don't like that at all. That really I'm concerned. I'm concerned about you. I hope you get that problem resolved. I hope things are at least moving in the right direction. And Eartha Mama, hey, hello, welcome. You say, hey Agni, hope you're doing well tonight. Yeah, I'm doing good. It's been a good day. It's been a pretty good day overall. I got, like I said earlier, I got to see an old friend. Had dinner with my dad. Taught a new chess class. Got the advanced group, so none of the kids are eating the pieces. Everything's going all right. Had a good workout in. I did some physical therapy this morning with my physical therapist because that's how you typically do physical therapy, right? Well, and the exercises at home, obviously, right? I learned some things. So basically, they say that most the physical therapists that I've talked to say that pretty much everyone is like hunched over these days, right? Because everyone's like, looking down at their phone. They're looking at the screen. Everyone's hunched over this way. And so a lot of the exercises and physical therapy exercises that they give people are to try to get them to straighten out their posture, right? But apparently, I am the fucking exception to the rule. I'm too much like this. Because of all the yoga I've done, I'm too far back like this. She called it in Superman pose. So she's trying to get me to hunch over more. It's like my whole life, everyone's always told me not to hunch. So I've made a point of having good posture, but then I guess I overdid it somewhere along the lines, and now my posture is too far back. So she's like really trying to get me to hunch over. She's like, all right, come on, close in, hunch over, and then that will fix your low back pain. So now I got to practice hunching. It's so weird to me to like hunch over. I feel like I don't know. I just feel bizarre to when I'm like hunched over like this. So I might be doing meditations like this from now on. Take a slow, deep inhale through your nose, gently raising your belly. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. Delitophalis, you say, city folk need to understand and respect rural culture. More is a recurring theme you try to present. Dude, you are so right. You are absolutely right. You know what? I never really thought about it, man. I mean, it was just kind of like a joke to me. We were like, I never really had that kind of sensitivity. I never really had that kind of just because everyone in my environment was like that. But you're absolutely right, and you completely rewired my mind. I've put a lot of thought into that. I was actually going to send you. I typed out this like long ridiculous DM that I was going to send you thanking you for that, and then I was like, yeah, and I erased it at the last minute. But it was you definitely have a good point. You say they are usually aware that they are silly humans like us, and we can have more fun laughing with them than at them. Yeah, absolutely, right. You bring up a really good point, and I don't know if it's like that in all big cities, but in Chicago at least, we tend to just kind of like think like, the Southerners with on the farms and everything, are kind of like ridiculous, a little bit, but they're not. In fact, one of my good friends, and by the way, Chicago is very different than the rest of Illinois, especially if you go down south. It's very very farm driven. One of my best friends is actually grew up on a farm, and it's like it's not ridiculous when I go to her parents' farm and all that, but like I don't know, like the auctioneers and all that, like I've always thought that they were kind of ridiculous, because of how quickly they talk. But maybe it's not. It's just part of their culture. You got to be respectful of everyone's culture, right? Delitophalis, you say your ex-girlfriend with scoliosis told you the same thing, that you had a resting Superman pose. Yeah, it's weird. It's weird because everyone else is hunched over. You're hunched over staring at your phones, and that curves your spine. And you get like that like hunchback type thing. But I'm always like this because of all the yoga I do. All the backward bends. Like in Bikram yoga, I was always like one of the best at some of the backward bends. And so I got to watch it now. I have to be careful about my posture. I need to hunch more. All right, now my screen just went a little blurry, so I'm going to temporarily deactivate and activate. There we go. And now look, we have a crystal clear image of me, and that's good because I don't like looking at a blurry image of myself. All right, so anyways, yeah, tonight, Unearthly Mama, how's everything going with you tonight? How's everything going in your world? Are you heading to Inspiritus Alchemy on Mondays? Earthy Mama and I actually go to the same guided meditation every Monday, or most Mondays at least, so that's pretty cool. And it's basically put on by Gina, the owner of Inspiritist, and it's one of the best meditations I've ever had in my life. So it's pretty cool that I got to experience it and I found that place. And thank you so much for the follow. It's a I'm going to butcher the name. Tino Yud. Tino Yud. Welcome in, friend. I hope you're well. My name is Agni James. I primarily stream guided meditations here on Twitch. I also have a master's in philosophy, so I do philosophy streams, and we discuss philosophy of mind, philosophy of science, and metaphysics. Those are my 3 areas of expertise. And then I also am a chess instructor, IRL. So we do chess streams on here as well. But yeah, there's a lot of meditation and personal development in here. We discuss basically anything that's about helping others, right, and helping ourselves. We also do readings from the Tao Te Ching, one of my favorite books ever written. We've been doing typically one passage a night. And then we have been doing chakra balancing intermittently. And we do this from this book, The Sevenfold Journey, Reclaiming Mind, Body, and Spirit Through the Chakras. And this was the book that I used when I was in a chakra balancing group years ago. So it's a solid read. And then we also do kind of more fun, silly stuff. You know, I do readings from Grimm's fairy tales because I've always found Grimm's fairy tales to be pretty awesome. And by the way, it's really dark. I don't know how many of you are into Grimm's fairy tales, but if you read the early versions, they're really dark, and they talk about, like, you know, cutting open wolves and filling their bellies with stones and sewing them back up and stuff like that. I mean, it's like, who would do that? Like, that just feels like animal cruelty to me. But you know, we do that kind of stuff. But yeah, so welcome in Tino Ud. You know, it's meditation and personal development. That's primarily what we do here. Eartha Mama, you say you're doing well tonight. You just made some dinner, and yes, you're going to meditation on Monday. Beautiful. All right, we'll have some great meditation. And we have a celebrity. We have a celebrity in chat. But hold on, my automatic shout out didn't go out. That's pretty crazy. I'm gonna have to fix that right now. But let's first give a shout out to a good buddy of mine, Celty. Celty basically is the fitness and health community. If I had to say one person represents the fitness and health community more than anyone else, it's got to be Celty. Celty's an amazing human being. He basically spends his time helping others get back into shape and get in good shape and get in good physical health. And it's just pretty awesome. You say lies, but you appreciate me. No, he's a good dude. And you know what? He does streams where you need minimal equipment. Like, he does like towel streams. It's like, if you have a towel, you can work out in his stream. Definitely check him out. Drop him a follow. He's just a great guy, and he supports people in the community. I mean, he's here lurking. You know, a lot of times he's here hanging out. He's just a great human being. You know, I always love checking out his streams, and it's always nice having him on. Yeah, and he's also a smart guy. He's also a smart dude. He's into computers, and he knows his shit, and he's just a nice, kind human being. He's a Kansas City representative. I think you should run for office. You should run for some kind of political office in KC, man. Let's see. Salty, you say you're too kind. Just wanted to swing by and so small. Well, thank you, man. Thank you, dude. You've shown me so much love over the years that. You know, it's not even necessary, but I appreciate you. And I'm going to actually fix right now that automatic shout out. I don't like the fact that did not work for you of all people, because you are someone who's incredibly important to me. And I don't know why that didn't work. So I'm adding you right now, man, just to make sure I never have that embarrassment again. Let's see. There we go. And okay. Bam. Okay, cool. Oh, it says it already exists. All right, well then this is well, I guess we're gonna override it. So I did have it in there, but for some reason it didn't go off. Let's just override it, I guess, and we'll go from there. I don't know what the deal is with that. Maybe a Streamlabs chatbot is malfunctioning today. Let's see, Celtic, you say you probably just didn't say one of the keywords. No, I think if you say anything, I think even if you type like a letter or something, it automatically just is supposed to kick in. But yeah, that's weird that it didn't do it. I wonder if it's going to do it for any other streamers that come in here. Now I'm on the alert. Now I'm on the high alert. You gotta, because you never know what's going to happen. Like I don't know how it's been for you lately. I think you stream with OBS Studios, right? I like my OBS has been crashing on me lately. Like every once in a while, it's kind of annoying. Things have been kind of glitchy on Twitch lately. But I don't know. I don't know if that's just me or you as well. Let's see. Celsi say, yeah, no, that sounds like work. Yeah. Doing what you do? All right. Okay, where else are we at here? Eartha Mom, you said you would love for you to do a Grimm's fairy tales reading sometime. Those fairy tales always intrigue me. Yeah, I will do it. I will absolutely do it. I've done it on here plenty of times. We are on, let's see, the last one I read was, let's see. The last one I read was The Cat and Mouse in Partnership, and that was crazy. I don't know if you've ever read the cat and mouse in partnership, but it was horrible. Basically, this mouse moves in to live with the cat, right? And they become good friends, right? And then they have like some fat, right? But they need this fat to last them like all through winter. So the cat's like, hey, I'm gonna go like hide this fat in church, because then no one will like break into our place and steal it. And then if I hide it in church, like, no one's going to steal it from there either. So they're like, the mouse is like really gullible, and it's like, okay, cool, go do that. And then the cat just goes off to church and is like, yeah, my cousin's getting married. I need to go to the wedding. And then just starts eating some of the fat, right? I think the cat like licks the fat off the top first, then comes back. Then the next day was like, man, that was some good fats. Goes back there, like eats some more of the fat, and then comes back the next day and then just like eats all the fat. And then like the mouse is, then the cat comes back and the mouse is like, what's the deal? What's going on here? The mouse doesn't even know what's going on. And the cat's basically like, yeah, sorry, I ate all that. And I think at the end the cat even ate the mouse. It was kind of really sad, and I felt really bad for this mouse. I mean, this mouse is like just a really trusting mouse, and then the cat just ate all its food, and then I think the cat even ate the mouse. It's really, really weird. Celta, you say Windows 11 has been doing weird stuff lately. Yeah, it might be. It might be the case that it's a Windows 11 issue. But yeah, it's just, I mean, it doesn't upset me as much if I'm like playing chess or doing something. But if like I'm in the middle of a meditation and OBS crashes, it's always more of a pain, because then I everyone's like in that groove, everyone's feeling that love and light, and then all of a sudden, next thing you know, like people are like, wait, what's going on here? Agni is like frozen. Earthy Mom, you say, damn, talk about gluttony. Yeah, the cat couldn't control itself, right? It just ate all the fat and then ate the mouse. So yeah, that's how it goes. All right, I think we're gonna hop into a chess game. I'm gonna play a game of chess, see how it goes, and then we will go from there. And I like to make my chess games instructive. This will just be a short game. It'll be a 10-minute game. And yeah, oops. Let's go back here. I was using the Inspiritus Alchemy playlist for their music. All right, so we should be able to get this all set up like that. There we go. All right, let's play some chess. This is a Lee chess, so it's going to be a random opponent on Lee chess. Okay, so I play the French defense against d4. So the idea is I'm going to be playing this. If they take, it's called the exchange variation. If they don't take, it's called the tirage. And okay, so they took. So this is the exchange variation. So this is typically a very dry variation, meaning there's not a ton going on in this variation. All right, so there's a couple ways you can play this. I personally I like to keep it simple, and how do I want to play this today? How do I want to play this? Let's see. Let's do. This is it's boring to play. This is the problem, and then it obstructs the knight's development. But we're gonna play something different. We're gonna play this. This is playable. But then the pawn falls. Right now the queen's protecting the pawn. But then you have weird tactical ideas. But then the knight drops back after it takes. All right, we're just gonna keep it simple. I don't want to think too much in the opening. I already wasted 45 seconds explaining what I was gonna do, which is not good time management skills, right? So one of the main ideas is that this bishop's gonna probably come out here. And then I'll be playing this push. All right, so like my knight's going to be developed here. I got to get this bishop out. I'll probably put it on b4, pinning the knight to the king, and that's an absolute pin. So my opponent just left the game? Would they have a bad connection? All right. So I guess if they don't make a move in 7 seconds, this is game over already because they have a bad connection. All right. Whatever. Well, then we're gonna play another one. And besides, the French exchange is pretty boring anyway. Anyways, yes, that's how you win a chess, just like that. I hope you all enjoyed that. That's how you win a chess. That's like the best chess game ever, right? 2 moves. Okay, all right, let's try it again. Let's go back and we'll play another game. Celti, gotta pop away. Appreciate you. Have a good one. Yeah, you too as well, buddy. Thanks for popping in, man. I really appreciate you and everything you do for the fitness and health community. All right, so new opponent. Everyone should be able to see this. All right, we're good. Let's go. Let's rock. All right. Okay, so this is weirdness. When people start playing this kind of stuff, it's just total weirdness. They just sacked a pawn. Let's see if they get enough compensation. The idea is they're going to bring. Okay, so they're really going in for weirdness right now. All right, they're going in for development. So I'm looking at queen up to defend the bishop. I don't want to take because then the knight gets developed. But actually, maybe I will take in this situation because the knight's developed a very weird square there. It can't hop over here. Yeah, I'm actually going to take. Let's just do that. This is kind of interesting. So now their knight's going to recapture. Oh, what? And they leave the game too? These people can't hang tonight. All right. I mean, I guess that's one way to win 2 games really quick. Like what's going on with these people? They can't handle it. All right, I guess let's try again. If at first you don't succeed, try again, right? We're going to get one good game here. So this is called the Sicilian defense. It's marked by, okay, and this is called the Marozzi bind. So they're trying to hone in on this square right here. They're trying to gain control over it. So I play this kind of stuff. I'm going to fianchetto my bishop. I'm going to have control of this long diagonal. They have good control over d5 right here, which is okay. That's in chess. Sometimes you have to give something, and sometimes you get something. This is a weird move to me. I don't really like that move. I think this is a mistake. It's obstructing the movement of this pawn. And your center pawns you want to be able to move. You want the freedom to be able to move them. I also have ideas of coming out here and going after the bishop eventually. I think this is an inaccuracy, but we can check with the computer after the game. And let's continue. Let's see if I push out my knight. They could always. What could they do? They could push and then force my knight to have to move. I have a cool little trick. Let's do this. So if they push, this is a very tempting move to play. I play knight here, and I have 1, 2, 3 attackers on the pawn, and they'll only have this one knight as a defender. It's a very tempting move to play, but they didn't play it. Okay. All right. So now I have a question. Oops. I'd love to be able to get this kind of break in. Oops. And that's what you kind of want sometimes in the Marozzi bind. But this is more standard. So I'm just going to castle. I'm going to keep things pretty chilled. I'd love to get this light square bishop too. Maybe trade my knight for it. Maybe do something like knight to b4, attacking the light square bishop. All right. So so now he just fell for this, right? So now I have 1, 2, 3 pieces. All right, attacking the pawn, and he doesn't have enough defense. So I just won a pawn, which is huge, which is very huge in chess. Winning a pawn is actually, I know it sounds like just a pawn, but it's actually a big deal. Notice I'm also on the light square bishop, and he just dropped his light square bishop. So this is probably going to be game over real quick. All right, now this guy, what is he doing now? He just wants to move quick. This is a guy that just wants to move quick. All right, well, whatever. If he wants to move quick, he can move quick. Oh, he just resigned. He just resigned. Okay. Wow, we're 3-0 today already. That was real quick. All right, we're just gonna do one more, I guess, and then we'll do some meditation because I know a lot of you just came here for the meditation. So we're gonna do one more game and then go from there. Let's see if this guy's playing any better. All right, so we got this kind of idea. Then I take here. If he pushes to d4. This is all Sicilian. I play the hyper-accelerated dragon variation of the Sicilian defense. It gives me this great dark square bishop. Yeah, so take. Now, he's got to take with the... Okay, oh, he took with the wrong piece. All right. So now let's see if I remember this. He's going to push the pawn. So he's going to push the pawn, and then I'm going to play this, and it's a really nice counter punch. All right, so check this out. I don't think he knows this line. So now he's got to find a new place. A lot of times they go there, which is a mistake, because then I push out here. All right, now he'll probably come over like here or something. And then I believe I play this. All right, yeah, this is a cool line. He does not know this line. Traditionally you're supposed to recapture with the knight. Okay, so he did that. Let's see. So I believe I still do this. Now he's going to take en passant, and then I recapture. And now I have my knights are developed. I have 2 strong knights. My bishop's ready to get very active right here. I should be in really good shape. That's the idea. He's had to move his queen around a lot. His bishop's kind of obstructed, right, because the queen's in the way. All right, so he's pinning the knight, which is fine. So now I have a choice of developing this bishop here, this one over here. Let's see, what am I going to do? Oh, wait, I can just take the bishop. Free bishop, I think, right? Let's see. Unless there's some trick. Is there some trick? I'm not seeing any tricks. Unless there's some weird, crazy trick or trap, I'm not seeing it. I mean, the only thing would be getting his queen on this diagonal, but he can't because my knights are covering these key squares. He just dropped his bishop. This is going to be another quick win, most likely. I mean, if I blow this, it's going to be pretty bad, to be honest. Yeah, I mean, if you know the lines, it's pretty easy at the beginning. Okay, then I just come back, and then what does he do? You know. Or I could even play queen out here, and then he couldn't. Oh, that's kind of interesting. Queen out here with check. Well, then he just plays the bishop over, and then I got complications. I'm just going to come back. Keep it simple. He might come over here now and try to go after this. Go after this rook right here. So he might like swing his queen over, attacking the rook. I would love to get my bishop developed to g7 and then castle kingside. That's my plan. I'm way ahead in development. I'm up a piece. I mean, this is. I just have to not make any blunders, and this game is going to be won. That's how this goes. And then we're going to do some meditation. So everyone who's here for meditation, just hang tight, and we'll be meditating in no time. And remind me, I need to fill up my water. I'm running out of water. All right, let's see what this guy does here, or this girl. All right, so this guy wants to be really active with his queen, which is not typically a good idea early. All right, because then I just get development in. All right, so we have this kind of idea. This queen is just kind of weird right here. It's not doing much. I'm now ready to castle, so my next move I'll probably be castling kingside. This is called castling kingside, and this is called castling queenside because the queen is always starts on the d file. And those of you who don't know much about chess terminology, these are called files, these vertical columns, and horizontally, these are called ranks. So this is the first rank, the second rank, the third rank. All right, so this guy is just doing that. Now I just castle, and this should be a pretty clean win. So here's something very important that I teach all my students. When you're up in material, like I am right now, I'm up an entire piece, right? Because he blundered his bishop earlier. You trade material, and then at the end of the game, if you just keep trading even trades, you're gonna have pieces, and your opponent won't. It's pretty straightforward. Pretty easy. So I would like to just get trades in when I can, but also make good moves. I don't want to be in a hole positionally. Okay, so his queen's very active. This is definitely his most active piece. I can start going after it. I also want to get my light square bishop developed somewhere. So I need to make some decisions. I could challenge his queen, but then if he takes, I have a structural weakness in that I have 2 double pawns on the b file. Let's see. What am I going to do here? I could go after the knight. That's also something. Like where's his knight going to hop into? And then I get my bishop developed. Yeah, I'm going to go after the knight. Now the idea is he doesn't want me to take the knight because then he recaptures, and it might look like an even trade, but he's going to have a big hole in front of his king. And then I can go after that and start attacking his king. So he's probably going to, retreat the knight somewhere over here. Maybe he'll come over to h4. I don't know. We'll see what he does. I just wanted to get my bishop active and throw a punch at his knight. That was kind of like my short-term plan. Let's see how he responds, or she. Let's see how they respond here. Notice my bishops are pretty strong. I mean, this pawn is currently defending the pawn on c3, but like this is a good diagonal still for my bishop to be on. And his queen is pretty loose, right? I have ideas of swinging my rook over to c8, and then whenever this knight moves, I'll have what's called a discovered attack on the queen. My rook will be hitting the queen. You want to always try to get, not always, but a lot of times you want to get your rooks in line with your opponent's queen, right? So when this knight moves anywhere now, like let's say it hops in here, the rook will be attacking their best piece, their queen. All right, let's see how he responds. So he brought his knight out, which defends this knight. So now if I capture, he captures. All right, so now he's afraid of that discovered attack, which I don't blame him. So he rerouted his queen. He's made a lot of queen moves. You don't want to move the same piece a lot early on until you've gotten all your pieces developed. But he obviously doesn't know that rule. So now I can push forward and start really attacking. So I'm gonna hop in here, making sure it works tactically. Yeah, I'm hopping in here, attacking the queen. He's gonna have to move his queen again. He's already moved his queen like, I don't know, 5 times. Notice how I have all of my minor pieces developed, right? Now minor pieces are bishops and knights, and he only has 3 of his developed. All right, now here I'm just gonna trade. I'm just gonna trade. I don't want to do this idea because then there's this idea which will trap my bishop. So I just take. He'll take with the queen, or he could take with the knight even. He'll probably take with the knight. Actually, that makes more sense. And then I have a cool trap thing here. It's not trap, but I could throw my bishop here. Knight's defending the bishop, hitting the queen, and then the queen would have to move again. But then I just take. I could take there. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how it plays out. I want to get more piece activity. So let's see. What could I do here? I have ideas like this, right? I could expand. By the way, you want to own more space in chess. So this is cool. This is a cool idea because look, I'm throwing yet another punch at the queen. I have attacked this queen many times. This queen has been flying all over the place, having to dodge attacks, having to move all over. I'm gaining some more space in the center. Chess is a war game. Whoever controls more space in the center has a strategic advantage, has a positional advantage. You want to control the center of the map, right? And now he just lost his queen, and he'll resign here. So that illustrates my point exactly. You typically don't want to move your pieces out like that because then all of a sudden your queen's going to get trapped and things of that sort. So I'm just going to come here, throw a punch at the knight, open up this dark square bishop diagonal. He's going to have to move the knight. He might come here, throw a punch at my pawn. I got this kind of idea that I'll have a beautiful pawn chain, and it might seem a little weakening at first. Okay, so now this guy is throwing a counter punch at my queen. I have to respond to that. So I just need to find a good home for my queen. There's plenty of good squares. This is an ideal one because it defends the pawn. And then also it's just pretty safe. He can't really attack it with anything. I mean, if he comes over here with the bishop, I just take the bishop. So yeah, this is pretty clean. I mean, I'm surprised this guy's still around, to be honest. I'm surprised he's around. Usually at this point, someone, the guy would leave. I'm up so much. I'm just up so much material. Okay, now he did just leave. Yeah. That's what I said. I said usually at this point the guy would leave, and right on cue he leaves. So, GG. We just got like four quick games and 4 quick wins. Claim victory. I'll take it. Okay, and that's how chess is played. There you go. Anyone who wanted to know about chess, you now got some basic introduction to chess. Okay. Anyways, we're ready for some guided meditation. So I always come out really intense and whatnot, and then we slow things down. And go to the place of perfect peace and love within our hearts. I'm going to go fill up my water, and then I'll be right back, and we will meditate. Get in some comfortable clothes. You don't want to be in restrictive clothes for the meditation. So get in some comfortable clothes, and I'll meet you back here in 2 minutes. All right. We are back. Take a slow, deep inhale and take a few deep breaths on your own. I have a Buddhist chant that I play that has a chime that rings every 2 seconds. And you can use it to help regulate your breath count. So close your eyes and take a few more slow and deep breaths on your own while maintaining good posture. Inhale through your nose, gently raising your belly. Exhale through your mouth, gently lowering your belly. Breathe in through your nose, slowly raising your abdomen. Breathe out through your mouth, slowly lowering your abdomen. Focus on your breath. Inhale, raising your belly. Exhale, lowering your belly. Breathe in, raising your abdomen. Breathe out, lowering your abdomen. Keep your attention on your breath count. Inhale. Exhale. Breathe in. Breathe out. Your breath calms your body, and your body calms your mind. Be mindful of your breath counts. Visualize yourself sitting on the tallest mountain peak. Watching the clouds float through the sky beneath you. Two clouds float together and merge into one. And one cloud stretches apart, dividing into two. These clouds float through the sky before disappearing over the horizon. These clouds are like your thoughts. Thoughts come into being and exist for a while in conscious awareness before disappearing from your mind. That is the nature of human thought. Inhale. Exhale, releasing all that does not serve you well. Breathe in. Breathe out, releasing all that is of no benefit to you. Stay true to your breath counts. When thoughts arise in your mind, visualize them as clouds moving through the sky before disappearing from your mind, returning your awareness to your breathing. On your next breath, travel down beneath the level of conscious awareness. Go to the region of your heart chakra. Feel the love which emanates from this location. And the light which is manifested from this love. Visualize your heart glowing with this golden light. Observing any sensations you may feel there. Now watch as this light expands from your heart. Filling your entire body with its presence. Let your body relax as it touches the light. And when you're ready, let the light permeate your skin. Flowing outward to the corners and walls of your room. Flowing upward to the ceiling and downward to the ground. Your entire room is filled with your glowing light. Now allow your light to permeate the walls of your room. Flowing throughout your house or building. Connecting with the love and light within anyone you might encounter. Awakening their memory of their own eternal love. Embrace this healing moment. And when you're ready, extend your light further still. Picture your light flowing throughout the boundaries of your community. Healing and nourishing everyone that it encounters. glowing radiantly to all those who have forgotten about their own love. The eternal love which exists in all of us. Now watch as your light expands outward further still. Flowing to the edges of your province, city, or state. Awakening the memory of each individual's perfect love. Awakening them from their dream of separation. Allow your light to flow further still throughout your entire country. And even further, surrounding your entire continent. Awakening all those whom you encounter. Gently reminding them that their essence is perfect love. Allowing your light to expand, encompassing all area of this earth. Gently shining on everyone on this planet. Welcoming them home to their own eternal love. Awakening them from the dream of separation. And allow your light to expand further still throughout all space and time. Watching it flow through all dimensions. So that everywhere within this spatio-temporal realm is filled with your perfect love. and all space-time is no longer necessary. Because you identify with this perfect love, the ego has no power over you. Fear cannot enter this holy place. For here, your eternal divinity becomes apparent. In this divine moment, you fully reconnect with the source of all creation. For both your essence are pure love. In this holy moment, you are home once again. And you remember that you flow eternally from the source of all creation. Inhale. Exhale, releasing all that does not serve you well. Breathe in. Breathe out, releasing all ego which obscures your third eye sight. Stay focused on your breath count. When thoughts arise in your mind, visualize them as clouds moving through the sky before disappearing over the horizon, and return your awareness to your breathing. on your next breath, travel all the way down to your center points. The place residing at the centermost nexus of your being. The place within you of perfect monism. The place inside of you where your essence flows the strongest. Boundaries and separations cannot exist here. For that which is eternally one can have no shape. Division is not welcome here. For that which eternally unifies can have no division. Anxiety of any kind cannot enter this place. For that which is perfectly sure of itself cannot feel angst. Fear of any kind is not allowed here. For that immutable spot within you that is filled with love cannot experience any fear. Focus on your center point. And when you're ready, travel through. I'll see you on the other side. Here, at your center point, you recall your true identity. At your center, you remember how you came to be. Here, at your center point, you recall your divine purpose. Which is to spread love and joy to all of those whom you encounter. Excluding not a single soul from your love. For at their core, their essence is the same as yours. Being the same as them, it makes no sense to withhold forgiveness. For by doing so, you withhold forgiveness from yourself. Inhale. Exhale, releasing all that is not serving you well. Breathe in. Breathe out, releasing all stress and tension from your body. Inhale. Exhale, releasing all tension from your mind. Breathe in. Breathe out, releasing all fear and worry from your being. Gently open your eyes, returning to this present moment, bringing with you the peace from this meditation throughout the remainder of your day. Namaste. Thank you so much for sharing this sacred space with me. I am honored and humbled to be here with you as your meditation guide. I hope you all feel more peaceful and relaxed. I hope you feel more joyful and loving, more centered and grounded, and most importantly, I hope you're able to take the peace and love from this meditation with you into the external world and share it with all of those whom you encounter. Namaste. How was that for everyone? KDDW1224. Thank you so much for the follow. I appreciate it. That was a good meditation for me personally. Let's see. That was a little bit longer than normal. That was almost 40 minutes. We've been hanging around the 33 to 37 minute meditation mark for quite some time, and now we went a little deeper there. I hope that was good for everyone. One Sluggy, hey, One Sluggy's here. Good to see you, friend. Nice to see you, man. How are you doing? I hope you're doing well. One Sluggy's a streamer here on Twitch. My automatic shout outs are not working today, so let me give you a shout out. Or if one of my mods could give some shout outs, that would be greatly appreciated. One Sluggy he's just an amazing dude. He's really authentic and genuine, and that's something that is really deep to my heart. I care a lot about people who come on without pretense, who come on and just speak their heart. And he speaks from his heart. He says it like it is. He speaks from his heart, and I'd rather someone speak from their heart and say something that I don't agree with, right, than someone speaking from their heart or not speaking from their heart and just saying platitudes or saying things that they know I'll agree with, right? I want someone to speak their mind. That's really important in this world. Most people put on a mask, and they just pretend to be a real person, and they don't actually act like a real person. They just say the things that they're conditioned to say, as opposed to saying the truth within them. A friend of mine and I once had a really deep conversation, and what we came up with is that people will say anything and everything except what is closest to their heart. People tend to be afraid to say what's closest to their heart because it puts them in a very vulnerable state. But One Sluggy is willing to express how he feels and say what's in his heart, and that's why I have such respect for the man. KDDW, you say that was good. Well, I'm glad you enjoyed it. Yeah. My name's Agni James, and I stream primarily guided meditations here on Twitch. We also do readings from the Tao Te Ching. We also do chakra balancing. I have a master's in philosophy, so we do philosophy streams as well. And I'm a chess instructor in real life, so I do chess lessons, and we do that also. So yeah, we have a good community of people here. So stop by any time, and if you're into meditation, and if you want a little peace and love in your life. And Dolichophallus, you say, let's see. Oh, well, thank you. You enjoyed it. Excellent. Yeah. Good. A sluggo. Yeah, you two actually have something in common, right? Because Dolichophallus, I think that you said that's a scientific, a biological term, right? It's a scientific term for a type of some kind of sluggy type creature. So yeah, I don't know. Maybe you two can hang out and talk or something. I don't know. That's pretty cool, man. I love the emotes. I love the emotes that you're using. Yeah, we had a good energy here tonight. Everything was great with all of you. Thank you so much. Yeah, everyone, Earthy Mama, you enjoyed it. I see the emotes that you showed up there. I'm glad you enjoyed it. Earthy Mama is just a wonderful person. She's one of those people who you meet. I've met her IRL. I know her IRL, and but it hasn't been that long. It's only been a few months, but ever since the first time I met her, I knew that she had nothing but love and kindness in her heart, and she just wanted to share that with the world. And she's just, you ever meet one of those people that you just know right off the bat that they're a quality human being. She's one of those people. So it's been a privilege and an honor to be able to become her friend. So yeah, I'm glad you got something out of this meditation. Okay, species name for a banana slug. That's cool, but it also literally means long and narrow penis in Latin. There you go. There you go. You're getting a lot of play out of that. It's funny and it's the species name for a banana slug. So you got the scientific aspect and you got the humorous aspect. Dude, by the way, you're an awesome dude. I got to make sure we get a shout out for you, man, because you know, I love your conversations, man. You had me cracking up. You had me cracking up pretty big time the last time I saw your stream. And I don't think you've been streaming as much lately. But yeah, everyone check out, did I even spell that right? Dolichophallus. Everyone knows phallus, right? But the dolicho is I don't even know if I'm saying it right, but I'm trying my best. But yeah, so yeah, check him out. He's a cool dude, man. He's got a good sense of humor. He's like the kind of guy I would like to hang out with, you know. If you ever come to Chicago, we'll hang out, man. You know, that's you know, you're pretty awesome. Oh, you're almost done with the move. Nice. And I hope the new place is cool, man. You're out in Cali, right? Yeah, that's right. You were out in Cali. So yeah, he's got that spark of humor, which is always really cool. You know, like someone who really has his mind on that humor game and knows is on point with humor, right? One of my good buddies is a stand-up comedian. He actually runs a company. So he worked in corporate Crate and Barrel for years. Actually, he was in corporate Land of Nod, and then they merged with Crate and Barrel, and then he worked high up in corporate. He was like the executive director of marketing, and his job consisted of sitting with like six other they were like, he said they were like 65 to 70-year-old women, and he would sit there with them, and they would debate for 6 hours whether they were going to call the next sale the spring swing or the spring fling, stuff like that. He said it was the most soul-sucking job of his existence. I mean, he made great money. He made a tremendous amount of money, but he absolutely hated it. And this guy has like the best sense of humor. He was a stand-up comic. He would travel throughout the Midwest for on the circuit for many years. Just a really funny guy. So one day he had enough. He just quit that job and he went into business making toys. So this guy has literally been, and they're hilarious. They're hilarious toys. He owns a company called Death by Toys, and I'm actually going to bring up some of his work in just 1 second. There's a celebrity, someone I care deeply about, just came in, Evelyn Yoga. You are amazing. Big shout out to Evelyn Yoga. Thank you, JT, for doing that shout out, because my automatic shout outs aren't going in today. Evelyn is a streamer here on Twitch, not as much anymore, but she used to be a big-time streamer here on Twitch. I had the privilege of giving her a chess lesson recently online, and it went awesome. Now I have all these people that are coming on requesting chess lessons. We had her video feed all hooked up. It was the first time I had been able to do that, so that was pretty cool. Evelyn's just an amazing person. She's from Australia. She used to own a couple of yoga studios. She lives the yoga lifestyle, and you can just tell from talking with her that she's got that yogic love within her, and it's always a pleasure being with her. How are you doing tonight, Evelyn? How's everything going with you? I hope everything is going. You say, "Hello." You were never big time. You were big time for me, though. For me, you were big time. You were always big time in my heart. So that's like as big of a time as you could be. Earth and Mama, you say, "Oh my God, Agni, you too, man. You're so blessed to have met you." Well, yeah, we met through Gina, right? Gina brings good people together. That's the cool thing about Gina. If you find a really good teacher like Gina, she brings quality people together. They congregate to her because she has it. She's living that lifestyle. She's living that lifestyle of love and peace and kindness, right? So people who resonate with that are attracted to her, and people who come in and are like, I don't know, this is kind of weird, I don't know, I'd rather go off and spend my life just wasting it away, doing something I hate and hating everyone around me. Those people typically are not gonna hang out at Gina's, right? There's a lot of great people that we know there now, and it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. All right, let's see. Evelyn, you said, "LL." Okay, well, that's very kind. Well, you are going to stream soon. A late one for you. Awesome. Well, hey, listen. If you're gonna I don't know how soon you're gonna stream, but I would love to give you a raid. If you're gonna stream sometime soon, I'll stick around until you get ready. I don't know what time you're gonna stream though. If it's like an hour from now, I can't do it. But I want to show my friend who owns Death by Toys. Now these are a little offensive, but you got to have sometimes, but you got to have a sense of humor. Don't wait for you. Okay, if it's going to be too late, yeah, I don't feel like streaming for super long. But let me get up some of his toys. You're going to love this stuff. You're going to absolutely love this stuff. This stuff is hilarious. Death by Toys. This guy has the best sense of humor. One of the best senses of humor that you'll ever come into contact with. All right, let's see if I can find all his. Here we go. Custom figures. All right. Action figures. No, these are just standard ones. Mega Man 2. He does a lot of ones. Shop. No, pictures of stuff. Contact. All right. Well, we're gonna have to go to a different place. For some reason, his website's not great. Death by Toys. Oh, yeah, this is better. I think this is better. His Twitter. Let's okay. All right, here we go. Let me load this up for everyone so everyone can see this. I mean, okay, some of his stuff is beautiful and funny and amazing, and some of his stuff is not as great. So we have The Shining. We have Wendy's cigarette ash. I think this is pretty good. It says hours of fun, just like the real dying up in the upper right hand corner. So this is one of his toys, right? Let's see what else do we got here. What else do we got? Okay, this one's good. This is me giving up and walking into the ocean with all my clothes on. I mean, seriously, just fuck it all. If you've ever had a day like that, you know what I'm talking about, right? And he makes action figures about it. And then he says up here, honestly, it's a good way to go. All right. Let's see what else he's got up here. Oh, this one's bad. Okay. The bungee cord snapped. The action figure play set. And it's just a bungee cord with some fake blood down here at the bottom. Oh, man. All right. It's funny, though, in a dark way, right? Earthy Mom, you say, oh, my God, you remember seeing these type of toys? You love the Shelley Duvall from The Shining. Yeah, The Shining is one of my favorite movies of all time. Even though it's dark, you can be filled with the love and the dark, right? Like this bungee cord snapped action figure play set. It says ambulance sold separately in the top right-hand corner. I think that's a pretty good one. Okay, and here we have I'm gonna fuck me a fish. I'm not going to say anything else about that one. And then here we have your neighbor's shitty kids. Action figures. Pretty genius. All right. Not bad. My buddy Dan Polydoris, this is his company. He makes these. He literally went from corporate America to making toys all day. And now he just does this and he sells them. It's pretty incredible, right? Your neighbor's shitty kids action figures. Let's do a couple more, then we'll switch to something else. Oh, okay. We got Violent Night. We got a Santa that apparently is, has a dark side. So we have Hours of Fun. Includes festive. What does it say? Includes festive accessories. Yep. And then here we have a bunch of useless cables that your dad refuses to throw out. How many of you have a dad that refuses to throw out a bunch of useless cables, like old, like, phone cords and things like that, right? A lot of us have that, right? A lot of us have dads that do that, right? And yeah, so here's a bunch of useless cables. Oh, that's great. Earthy Mama, you say you think these were featured on the news? Yeah, they were. Yeah, he got some publicity. He got some play on the news, and in the Chicago Tribune he was featured, and I think on some maybe ABC7 or some news station he was featured as well. Yeah, this is my good buddy, and by the way, I send him clips from my streams, and he always gives me good feedback. He loves some of my my content, so it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool to have this guy as a friend. Oh, and by the way, he did something really, really amazing for me about 6 months ago. So I had all these old toys, right? From like, I don't know, from when I was a kid, right? I had tons of Star Wars toys, He-Man toys, all these like old school toys, Transformers. And, I have no idea of what they're worth. I have no idea about the price value and the market for these toys. So he came over to my house and went through all of my boxes of old toys. I had 6 big boxes of old toys. He went through all of them meticulously, took out each one that had substantial value, and then told me how much they were worth, because he knows the market really well. And then he put them to the side, and then he actually gave me the name of a guy who owns a store. This guy Jonathan, who owns a store called Smash Toys on Toohey in Chicago. Actually, it's right on the border of Chicago, or maybe in Chicago. It's like right on the border. But anyways, Smash Toys, and he said this guy would give me a fair price for my other toys. So I took all my toys into Jonathan. I told him that Dan had sent me there and he gave me like a few $100s for all the stuff that Dan called junk, right? All the junk toys, and then all the good stuff that Dan found I put on eBay, and I've been selling it. Like I've been getting like $130, $150 for like toys that I had no idea what they were worth, like old Star Wars toys, old Transformers, things like that, And here was something cool. There was like a little weird like plastic piece to like some toy, and that plastic piece alone was worth like $135. Who would have thought that this little tiny plastic piece that I guess the piece breaks really easily, and the fact that I had one that wasn't broken was like a big deal to like toy collectors. So he was able to tell me about that. I put it on eBay, and immediately it sold for $135. I couldn't believe it. I was like, wow, a little piece of plastic for that much. So that was pretty cool. That was pretty neat. All right, let's see. I think that's about it. Dalacho Phallus, you say, yeah, a Bay Area. Yeah, you were from the Bay Area. That's right. Okay. So now is a cool part of the stream, because we get to spread the love. We get to do a raid. Let me get my raid sign all set up here, because this is a way that streamers spread the love to one another. Those of you who have not streamed before, you might not know that it's a big deal, actually, sometimes to get a raid. The other day I had a couple raids, and I had 61 viewers for a period of time, and it was pretty cool. It felt good. So here's the raid sign. If you're a subscriber, copy and paste this. Assuming we stream someone other than Spirit Music, who has a character limit on what you can post in his streams, we will just copy and paste this. If you're not, just spread some love and light their way. Let's see who's out there today. Oh, I know who we're gonna raid. We have not raided Mary Amber in a long time. So Mary Amber is really cool. She is a musician. First of all, she's a musician, but she's also a comedian. And Evelyn, she's from Australia. She's from your country. She's a musician, and she used to be I believe a former women's ping pong champion. And she supports mental health awareness. She donates money to mental health awareness. She's just a really nice human being, and she's funny. So I love raiding her when I can. So we're gonna give her a raid. Check her out. Hang out, say hi to her. Yeah, and it will be and yeah, we'll spread the love. Evelyn, you say look up a Celeste Barber comedian. I gotta write it down, otherwise I will forget it. So let me write this down. Celeste Barber. Yeah, I'm always down for a little comedy. Celeste Barber. Cool. All right. Yeah, I'll be checking that out. Right now I'm so backed up. I have a list of like 900 people to check out and 900 books to read and 900 movies to watch, and it's just getting crazy. There's too much content out there now. It's like I don't know how people can get to everything, right? It's just impossible. It's just impossible. But I will eventually. It's on my list, so I will eventually get to it. Okay, so yeah, let's raid Mary Amber, and thank you all so much for being here with me. I truly appreciate each and every one of you. I love you unconditionally, everyone who's out there. JT, you've been quiet. Are you still around? I hope you're feeling okay, JT. I know you've been having a hard time lately, but I've been sending a lot of love and light your way, and okay, you are. I've been sending a lot of love and light your way, and I think I'm going to give you a call if you're up for it in a little bit, and we can talk, because I want to know how you're doing. I know how it is when things get rough, right? We want to spread love and light, and sometimes it's tough, when we're going through a rough spell. But again, thank you all, and yeah, until I see you again, just try to be a little kinder to the people around you. That's all I ask. Namaste.